Good morning, boys and girls. Today is Wednesday, May 20th, and we're focusing on Chapter 12, Lesson 5 today. Today, we're going to be looking at the three-dimensional shapes a little closer. You can describe three-dimensional shapes by the number of faces, edges, and vertices. Oh, what does that mean? Well, here's a picture of a cube, and this is an edge. This is where two faces meet. The face is the flat side. So here's the face. On the cube there are 6 faces. And the vertex point is where 3 edges meet. So here's an edge, and then there's an edge right there, and 3 edges meet. We're going to look a little bit more closely at these three-dimensional shapes. But a face is a flat surface. An edge is where 2 faces meet. A vertex is where 3 or more faces meet. Not all three-dimensional shapes have faces, edges, and vertexes. So let's start with the most common one. We have the cube. The cube has 6 faces. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 and 6 down here. So 6 faces. Now, an edge is where 2 faces meet. So this face and this face right here form this edge. So you can see on the cube that here's 1, 2, 3, 4 edges. Over, turn it over. 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 4 on top, 4 on the bottom, and then you got to do the ones in the middle. 9, 10, 11. And then let's turn this around, 12. So the cube has 12 edges. And now let's look at the vertices. The vertices are where 3 edges meet. So this edge, and this edge form that vertice. So right here you can see 1 vertice, 2, 3, and 4. So there's 4 vertices up on the top part, and then we're going to switch it and look at the bottom. 5, 6, 7, and 8. So what are we going to write here? Whoops. We are going to write 6 faces, 12 edges, and 8 vertices. Now let's look at the rectangular prism. We said the rectangular prism and the cube are very, very similar. So they both have 6 faces. They both have 1 edge, 2 edge, 3, 4 edges. Flip it over. 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you have the middle. 9, 10. And let's flip it over here. 11 and 12. So that's 12 edges. Now, the vertices. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the points. Flip it over. 5, 6, 7, 8. So the faces, edges, and vertices are the same for a cube and rectangular prism. Now, let's look at a pyramid. A pyramid has a bottom, a flat bottom, another flat surface, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, let's write 5 faces. Now let's look at the number of edges on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the bottom there are 4 edges. Now let's turn it upright. 5, 6, 7, and 8. There are 8 edges. Now, let's look at the vertices. The vertices are where 3 edges meet. So here we have 4 vertices on the bottom. And then we flip it around, and we have a vertice here because we have 4 edges that form that vertex point. So there are 5 vertices. And then last but not least, let's take the sphere. Do you see any flat surfaces on this, any faces? It's round, so no, there aren't any faces. And if it doesn't have any faces, I don't see any edges, I don't see any straight lines, and I don't see any vertex points. So on this, it's 0, 0 edges, and 0 vertices. Let's look at the question at the bottom, top math. What figure has 6 equal faces? And so that's kind of a review from what we did yesterday, or on Monday. So write the name of it, and then how do you know? Go ahead and answer that. All right, let's look at the work that you're going to be doing for today. You're going to go through, it says circle the shapes that match the description. 0 faces, 0 edges, 0 vertices. Now, the sphere has 0 faces, 0 edges, 0 vertices. The cube has faces, edges, and vertices, so that doesn't have there. And then the cylinder here has 2 flat surfaces, so it has 2 faces, but it doesn't have any vertices and it doesn't have any edges. So the only one here that would work would be the sphere. You're going to go through and you're going to do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Let's look at the backside here. You have 2 word problems, 13 and 14. Underline what you're given, circle the question. Make sure you read it carefully. And then down here, the hot problem. It says, which shape does not belong? Circle it. Explain why it does not belong. Well, let's look at our 4 things. We have a cylinder. It is round. We have a cube. It has faces, edges, and vertices. A sphere. No faces, vertices, or edges. And a cone has no vertices, it has no edges, and it has 1 flat face. So of these 4 items, which one does not belong, and explain why? Alright, for Thursday, you're going to do page 769 and 770, and you're just going to go through and do very similar to what we did today. Alrighty, if you have questions, let me know through Dojo. Have a great day, boys and girls.